Okay, we right back. Stop snitching part 2. I'm gonna use AR Ab for this one. Very, very well-known situation. Who's AR Ab? Does everybody else watching this know who AR Ab is? I'm pretty sure. This is a hip-hop channel. AR Ab, the top goon of Philly. Later to then start being self-proclaimed as the king of Philly. You know, they would all call him AR Ab the king, his own squad, his own crew of alleged murderers and killers and street niggas was calling him king, or alleged murderers and street niggas was calling him the top goon. Now, the same way I did with Al Bial, let's establish the belief factor so you understand how I look at AR Ab before I give some of this background. That we're going to tie all of this into the Stop Snitching series, okay? Similar to Al Bial, there's a lot about AR Ab that I believe. All right. Do I believe in embellishment? Do I believe in exaggeration? Do I believe in irony? Of course. Like Jay-Z admit that example. Like he said, like, when I said I got Obama on the text, like, yeah, it's irony though. Like I'm putting irony in the entertainment. But you know damn well I'm big enough that if I wanted to get in touch with Obama, I could. If he wants to ask me to help him campaign, he will. And he did. You know what I'm saying? So some of the lyrics have some irony to it. You know what I mean? There's some embellishment there. There's maybe some exaggeration at times. You know, some of these motherfuckers might jump out there and say like, yo, I shoot up the block every day you play with me. Maybe they're talking about only one example where they, you know, spun a block twice and then the beef was over, right? So maybe there's some exaggeration. But here's one of the reasons, one of them, there's many reasons why I could say I believe AR Ab, but here's one of the reasons why. I have a lot of respect for Philly. I have a lot of respect for Philly's street element and Philly's gangster. I don't have to live in Philly. I don't have to know AR Ab. I don't have to be a part of or a member of OBH. But Philly is another one of them places not to play with. How often are they on the top 2, 3, 4, 5 murder rate? Right? You got this street guy running around claiming he's the top goon. I don't see all these gangsters and even other rappers lining up to contest that. I even seen like reservation from like Gilly. Gilly was running around a lot of times saying that he's the king of Philly. I mean, he had his reasons back in the day. We see that on like DVDs and whatnot why he would claim that, right? I don't need to go into that because this ain't about Gilly. But I remember seeing Gilly like speaking on AR Ab. Like these are people that are certified in Philly. Nobody is running around contesting AR Ab. If you look at it, these people's reaction when his name comes up is almost a fear element, right? If for anything else, even if it's not fully fear, it's damn sure respect of capability. You see that. We've seen that over the years. Drake doesn't just throw his name out there randomly so that it can come back and he looks stupid like that. No, the man has a reputation. And when you have a long running reputation, sooner or later it gets tested or it gets proven to be false, right? Maybe he's been tested in the street, like he's been shot and he's been into shit or whatever. And there's probably a million things that maybe he's been involved with that we don't know about. But you gotta get to a point where you realize that this is 100% false. Like how long was 6ix9ine's run? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe he was involving himself in street shit, but sooner or later you find out like he's not a street guy. We met him in Gummo and being a blood and everything like that. That's when most people became familiar with them. But it's only but so long you find out because you got people around. And especially if you start to blow up and become famous, people will speak about you. People will speak about you. Somebody from your high school or somebody that used to date you or old friends, family members, somebody's going to come out and say, "Ooh, Timmy was an altar boy. Like, why is Timmy talk about he a big crip now?" Like that will happen. It only takes but so long, especially as you become popular or famous. All right. AR Ab can't have this long run of being the self-proclaimed top goon of Philly and nobody's testing it. And the people that we do see speak on his name give him that respect, give him that space, and possibly even show fear. So even if I don't know nothing else about AR Ab, my respect for Philly and seeing his run and how people react to him automatically validates the fact that he either is active, was active, but is respected at a street level. Okay? Hence, I believe you, AR Ab. Now, in AR Ab's situation, and he's been locked up before. A lot of us have heard about the situation with Cass. Shout out to my nigga Cass. He's been locked up for murders. He's has interviews sometimes where he alludes to I've killed people, yet we know he was locked up for murders and all the type of shit. He said a lot of shit on the internet. There are best ofs and breakdown and collage videos of AR Ab. It's just saying all types of reckless stuff that most gangsters would never say on camera. Now, granted, I'm not making an excuse for anybody. And I'm going to get to the snitch part of this in a second. Bear with me. I'm not making an excuse for Ab as far as the things that he said publicly and on camera and in music and on video. I'm not making an excuse for him. I think there's definitely a large part of some of the things that he says in interviews, etc., is backed by the fact that he's trying to be in the industry. He's trying to get record deals. He's trying to make money. He's trying to get bookings. He's trying to make music, etc., etc. And I think he sees, just like, let's say, for example, Lil Durk or some of these other artists, drill artists, when I'm dissing people, when I'm speaking about the streets at this level, when I'm speaking about murders, whether I'm alluding to me being involved or people around me being involved or not, people are more interested. People want to know about that shit. They want to, let's break down a Lil Durk verse and see all the people that he's saying he may have had killed or lined up, and that people love it. They gravitate towards it. All right, when you get to the heights of Lil Durk, of course, you could still turn around and be successful making love songs every once in a while too, or club bangers. But when you're AR Ab and you're trying to really get into the industry and you're trying to come up, right? Because his fame or his music level never reached his name and his reputation. If you ask me, his music career was never there. You ever see him perform in arenas or get booked for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, or you ever see him get to that flashy side of things or get signed to a major label or anything like that? He never reached those heights on the music side. His name and his street reputation was always bigger than that. You know what I'm saying? Bigger than his actual music success. So I think when you're at that level and you see the actual traction that you get from telling the street tales and saying, like, on camera, yeah, I extort niggas and all that, and people's clicking, they eating that shit up. Every time AR Ab talks, I gotta hear this motherfucker crazy. I think he was smart enough to know that, and I think some of that may have motivated him to say a lot of the things that he said on camera. The wild one is like with Skinny Me. Skinny Me is another one that was OBH. He's in jail right now for murder. I think he was found guilty. Did they give him life or some shit? You know, but he's in there for murder. Abs got interviews saying, like, yeah, I seen Skinny Me. You know what I'm saying? Get brutal and kill niggas and shoot shit. Like, so let's get to the meat and potatoes. Is AR Ab a snitch? My answer is no. My clear-cut answer is no. If you watched part 1, we broke down giving information, cooperating, giving details, and speaking while in trouble to the authorities about criminal activities, whether they involve you, other people, or can possibly implicate other people, accidentally or not, accidentally or on purpose. All right. When he's saying these things on camera, he's not snitching. He's not speaking direct. He's not like, I'm doing this video and I'm recording this for the authorities. He's talking to us, the fans. He's talking to his peers. He's talking to Philly. He's talking to the people that could help him push up his music career. You know what I'm saying? He's not in trouble. He's not in custody. He's not in cuffs. He's not in a detective box. He's not on the stand saying these things. That would make him a bona fide official snitch. What you have to classify AR Ab as, it's not a snitch. It's just self-incriminating or incriminating to others. Okay. So this is the incriminating label. That's what AR Ab did. There's things in his music that came to trial. And I think we seen that his lawyer and even some of his own words to the court was, we don't rap about, the lighter side of life. We rap about the stuff that we know. And then there's a whole another topic that we've seen coming out about should lyrics be used in court, right? But there's things that he's saying in his lyrics that people are trying to either use to paint a picture of his character or build links to criminal activity in his lyrics. So because of that, and it was actually brought up in court, it could be deemed incriminating, the things that you're saying on video or on music. It could be deemed incriminating. Not a snitch, incriminating. Now, when you incriminate yourself or others based on how you did it, then you have all the freedom, you as a person, to say, well, that's stupid. Or you could say it was an accident. Or you could say, oh, no, he was really just pushing the limit. Maybe he was just pushing the limit of how far I could go on camera. And then he figured out that the cops will come get you for some of this shit, possibly. Right? One of the people that was also charged, or I'm not sure, found guilty for murder. You hear the name Taz, right? You hear the name Taz come up in this shit? Taz was supposedly the person I think that we heard was telling on Ab, right? And Taz is supposedly the person or the reason why Dark Low is in jail, because Dark Low got charged or got hemmed up because they grabbed him on witness tampering. And when they went to his house to get him for witness tampering, they also got a gun in his crib. So they got him on multiple joints. But Dark Low admit to detectives, like we read it online, and he said it himself. Dark Low, when he came out and he was fighting from home, he said it in interviews. He said, I wrote my bro a letter. He wrote Taz a letter. Now, if you read through the slang and through the words, he's kind of threatening Taz a little bit, basically on his ass, like, yo, what are you doing talking and testing and all that type of shit, right? The authorities swooped in and said, that's witness tampering. And that's what they grabbed Dark Low on, witness tampering. Okay? So Taz is supposedly the person that he witnessed tampered because Taz was supposedly cooperating against Ab. This is just all the shit that's out. There's paperwork that's out. Some of this is what Dark Low was talking about himself in interviews and whatnot. But Dark Low himself, AR Ab himself, I said all of that to go back to this guy Taz. AR Ab himself, he's got lyrics. I called Taz, tell him, bring the nigga head to me. That's the song with his brother, Leak Moss. I think it's Blood Brothers. Go YouTube it. Go pull the song up. Blood Brothers with AR Ab and Leak Moss. Dope track. I love the song. But in the song, he says, call Taz and tell him, bring that nigga head to me. And then coincidentally, Taz is down for murders, right? So that lyric could be incriminating, but it's not snitching. Ab isn't out there snitching. He's just incriminating himself and others. So once again, you paint that as like, that wasn't smart to do or smart to say. You got the best of the best gangsters in the world. You don't hear shit from. They would never speak about criminal activities, whether it was for the purposes of entertainment or not, on camera, especially if it could be indirectly tied. But when you're saying names and routes and I was over here and I did that, and even if Taz did put work in his past, and he's obviously free and possibly not serving a jail stint for murder, and even if nothing is going on, and 10 years later, you put that in a lyric, it's incriminating. It's incriminating. Let's say, hypothetically, I have a criminal past. I would never, even let's say I just got into a podcast lane of only telling y'all my personal stories. I would never tell y'all a story that I felt like could land me back in trouble or land me in any type of trouble. It's incriminating. Am I snitching on myself? I'm incriminating myself. All right. And I just feel like people do that a lot. It's all these people that got no street background, no nothing, never did shit, and don't even apply common sense and just using the word fad like we broke down in part one as a fad, like we broke down in part one. And it's just so common and so easy for people to just throw words around like this. All right. But what it really is in these particular scenarios, when we give in this example of like AR Ab, it's not snitching. It's incriminating, because when Ab was in there, he didn't tell them people nothing. If he did, that paperwork would have came out and we would have heard about it. All right. So as we all know, Ab is in there, stand up, and everybody still respects him. Why? Because he didn't snitch on anybody. So you can't look at the videos that he has out, and I see popular bloggers and media like, look at AR Ab in this video, he snitches, and they throw that word around so easily. Is AR Ab snitching in any paperwork while in custody? No. Now, incriminating, possibly. If they went and grabbed somebody else based on his lyrics, I would be mad as shit. I'd be like, yo, you incriminated me. Stupid. The fuck is you doing in these songs or on these interviews? But he's not talking to authorities while he's in trouble. It's not snitching.